Hey, what's up, my fellow gentlemen and wet shavers, and welcome back to the channel, Tennessee Whiskey Shaving, with your favorite talking head, Wes. It's good to see you guys again. Um, I hope everybody's weekend is starting off great this Saturday, and I hope your week was a good one, and I hope everybody enjoyed or had a good time with family and friends for their Labor Day weekend last weekend. I hope it was a phenomenal one. Channel news. Well, the last time I checked, I've got 99 subscribers. So just one more. Of course, my finger's wet, so it's not going to let me in. There it goes. So I just need one more subscriber to get to that magic 100 number. And yep, 99. So one more and we'll be to that magic number and we can do a giveaway. I'm thinking about doing it on Shave Dad. So if there's any of my viewers out there that aren't on the Shave Dad Facebook group, please definitely look it up. Just search, Shave Dad, and and then ask to join. Phenomenal group. Lots of awesome people in there. There's a reason why I always end the show with the wet shaving community is the best community. And Shave Dad really does exemplify that. So if you're not on there definitely look up Shave Dad and join. So today I've had my beard or my facial hair, wet. I've been getting it wet and keeping it wet to prepare for my shave. So today is going to be, man, a lot of a lot of reviews. There's going to be like 4 different reviews going on here and 4 different firsts. So Doug Lane was nice enough to let me purchase a set of his new release that's coming out today. So I'm going to be reviewing it for you guys. And it is called the Sanderson Trio. It is 3 soaps, each in a little 2-ounce tub here. I'll just show you the first one. And I'm going to explain what I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing 1 pass with each soap. There's 3 of them. And it's Hocus Pocus themed, from the movie Hocus Pocus. So the first one here is Winifred. Make sure I got that. Yeah, Winifred. And then there is also Mary. And of course there is Sarah. And each one of these has its own scent notes and is different. And then of course it comes with a splash as well called Binks. And Binks is essentially Doug and Kara, they took scent notes from each one of the trio and made a mashup with the splash. And I gotta say, he was also kind enough to send me some samples here of Campfire. And he knows I'm a huge menth head, and so when he made up 0 Kelvin for Barry in the Blizzard battles last year, so he sent me some of that stuff. Doug, man, yeah, man, this stuff is awesome. I haven't shaved with it yet, of course, but man, smelling it, it smells fantastic. You can just smell the menthol in there and some other little goodies that he's got in there. But and check it out, it's this cool purple color too. It's really awesome. I hope he brings this out like in a full release sometime or other. 0 Kelvin is very good. And then the Campfire Cravings. He knows I'm your friendly neighborhood nag, N-A-G-G, not a gourmand guy, but he sent me this to try it out. And I gotta say, for being a gourmand, because this is his s'mores. It's all the fall is coming, guys. Kind of like Game of Thrones. How the Starks thing, or it would be like winter is coming. Well, the fall is coming, and so sometimes with the fall comes the gourmand. You got all that pumpkin spice and pumpkin and s'mores. You know, everybody's starting to get out there to the campfires, and I gotta say though, for a s'mores gourmand type shave soap, um, this one's not too bad. I kind of like it. I like the fact that it kind of it's more graham cracker heavy than it is like chocolate or marshmallow. So I like that. I'm not a huge chocolate fan when it comes to shaving. You know, I don't want to shave with anything, you know, that smells like chocolate or that I want to eat. And not that I don't want to eat this. It smells good, but I think it's very well blended. And that's what you've come to find out if any of you guys have followed what I've said and you get Adopted Acres stuff, you'll find that Doug blends everything very well. So even this fougere, where am I? This is not a fougere. This gourmand is very well blended. I like the way it's blended. I like the fact that the chocolate is there and the marshmallow is there, but they're more subtle. You know, I like that the graham cracker is the star of the show to me for this. So, um, so yeah, and so that's the software that I'm using, and I'll go over the matchy matchy for each one as it comes along, and for me as well, this is very awesome. I'm going to be using a Tedalus Essence for the first time today. I have been wanting one of these for quite a while. This is a shavette, so if you didn't know, by Tedalus, and or Tedalus. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. I've always said Tedalus, but it could be Tedalus. Let me know if you guys know for sure. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. Um, and I will be loading it here with a Feather Super Professional. So if you guys want this here, this is how it works. You just take and you slide this bad boy off. It's got a magnet. It's got some magnets in here. And then, let me see here. Let's see. There we go. There's the blade. And this Tedalus, however you say it, is it will take DE razors. You know, you can break the DE in half or whatnot. So it will take DE razors. It will take Feather Artist Club razors. It takes a bunch of different razors. And I have never used this bad boy before or loaded it. Maybe I should have just loaded this thing beforehand. Let me see here. You know what? I wonder, because this has like a little notch on it. I wonder if I need to flip it this way first. Maybe that way this'll line up this notch right here. Yep. There we go. That was it. Oh. So I know my videos run long, and I'm very sorry if this one runs even longer because of this. So let's see here. This kind of snaps together. When I was originally doing this, they say that they want you to slide it or whatever, but I am actually going to just do this. There we go. And then pop it into play now. See, I don't like that blade wrist. See, that looks very crooked to me, doesn't it? Let's see here. If I do that. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice and straight. So there we go. So I finally got it loaded. That's what it looks like. I can't wait to give this bad boy a try. I've been looking forward to using a Tedalus for a very long time. Sorry, I had a little hair or something like that stuck on it. So, anyway, without further ado, I am going to use this set. I'm going to go Winifred first, then Mary, then Sarah. Um, that's the preference that I like the scent in. So that's what I'm going to do first. So let me get my face wet. Again, and we'll go from there. So this, I have my blue Etsy symmetrical pottery blue dotty bowl. There's no matchy for it. I only have so many shave bowls, but I did go with my Moon Soaps brush here for the matchy with the Winifred. I thought that the wood and the green matches very well together, with her hair and the green that she wears. I thought that was a nice match. Also, please, sorry about the shelving back here. The wife got a new shoe rack for the closet, so I'm gonna repurpose her old shoe rack and put it somewhere on my side, and I'm gonna put my shave soap and stuff in it. So it's gonna be like a new kind of thing for me to, store my soaps. So I apologize for that. So of course, you've seen the Tedalus, you got the bowl, we got this. So let's get going. Now, the scent notes on Winifred is damp woods, pumpkin flesh, clove, nutmeg, and apple. And it smells pretty good. It has like a slight sweetness to it. You can definitely tell there's the pumpkin and the apple. Now, what I'm about to say, I hope it doesn't come across in a bad way. Because I really don't, I mean, for me, it's a good thing, but it could also be construed as a weird thing, I guess. I could see how that is. Um, Now, this shave soap really reminds me of my grandmother. Now, like I said, I know this can sound weird off the top end of it, but my grandmother, I mean, I was born in North Carolina, and my grandmother used this particular kind of snuff, and it was called sweet dental snuff. Sweet dental. And as soon as I popped the lid on Winifred, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Is it reminded me of her and how that snuff that she used to use. And if you're not familiar with snuff is it's pretty much ground up tobacco. And of course, the stuff that she would get was called sweet dental. And dental was like a branding to try and get people, they tried to make it sound like, oh, it's good for your teeth. I mean, this is stuff from the 1930s and 40s. And of course, I mean, I remember my grandma, my mama, always having a jar of this stuff around. And to me, this is kind of what it smelled like. That's what it reminds me of. And with it being sweet dental, of course, they added a bunch of sugars and stuff like that to it. So it's not bad smelling, but like I said, it reminds me of my mama. and the way that she would smell, or the way that snuff would smell. But the pumpkin, I gotta say, like the pumpkin and the apple is very prevalent. I mean, I can get like the damp woods, scent out of it too. It's a very earthy smell, and you know, you can definitely see the prevalence of the pumpkin in there, and then the apple brings out a nice sweetness. Um, I don't get a whole lot of clove and nutmeg out of it, so it doesn't get that kind of pumpkin pie-ish smell, with like allspice or something like that. It it really smells like a earthy, pumpkiny, appley kind of fragrance to me. It smells good. All right, so stretch the skin. Let's begin. Wow. So far, first swipe with the essence is very nice. So I know the heavy price tag that comes along with Tedalus, but it's worth it so far, man. I gotta say, it's a very nice feeling razor. It was weird too, because it's like the scales on it or whatever is more heavy than the actual razor. It's a very light. Um, the actual razor part of this is actually very, very light. It feels good in the hand. And of course, like I've mentioned before, I really like the super professionals, but I may need to get some more professional blades to throw in here just so I can try them out. But preliminary, I can't talk. Initially, when I was first starting to dip my toes into straight razor shaving, and I was using shavettes, and because I just had the Commissary SS from Feather Artist Club, that's predominantly what I have, and or that well, that's the only shavette I have now, except for the Tedalus. But I did have a friend that was kind enough to send me his Feather DX. And my findings with that was that with the DX paired with a super professional, that felt the most like a straight razor. Or that feels the most like a straight razor. Even more so, than the professional. I'm guessing maybe because I think with the super professionals, um, the um, the blade exposure is, a touch more than just the regular professional. And I think that extra exposure really helps, give it that extra feel of a straight razor. But yeah, this feels good. Mm. So far, I'm really enjoying this. Now, I had a request. Somebody asked me, so I'm going to try this to show you guys or show how I do my neck. Um, because I've been doing it long enough now. I just kind of know where my hairline is, by just doing it for so long. So it's really just one of those things where I just kind of do it. I just kind of look in the mirror and then, and then from there, I mean, it's all about just feeling it on my skin and knowing where my hairline is and then just kind of going by feel. I just go down and get it. Boom. That's it. But when I did first start, I'd sit there and I would take my finger and I would hold it, so I knew like where my hair ended. And, you know, just after time, after long enough of doing it, you just kind of know where you're at. So that's about it. That's all there is to it. Scoot that off. Makes cleanup a little easier. All right, let me rinse off, and we will get to round two with Mary in a second. All right. And I'm back for pass number 2 with Mary. Now, I will say, oh, and sorry, yeah, I kind of forgot scent strength off the top and all that stuff with Winifred. Scent strength off the top, and this is what it looks like. This is a pour for Winifred. Scent strength is, a solid from the Tennessee whiskey scale, proof scale, where 0 is the worst, 100 is the best. You get a 50 proof with Winifred. Now we got Mary, right? And there you go. We also got that bad boy right there, Mary. Now, Mary, the scent strength is a little more. Now, the Tennessee whiskey proof scale for Mary, I give 60 proof. This one is it's on the stronger side. And I'll say, as soon as you pop the top on this, the first thing that's going to pop into your head is pumpkin pie. This one smells to me just like pumpkin pie. All right, got the face wood again. And of course, as you can see, awesome leather here. Lather. Doug, there's also too, let's see if I can, I don't know, maybe you guys can see, or maybe if I got some on my brush. No. If you look in here, right there, yeah, there's some chunks of stuff in there too. So, it is very kind of pumpkin pie-ish. It's almost like and I know it's not because it's not listed in the ingredients or the scent notes or whatever, but it's almost like having like like oatmeal or something in there. But there's chunks of something in this one. It's pretty neat. It gives you kind of like that real homemade, natural kind of vibe to it. And the scent notes for Mary and the Sanderson trio, you have pumpkin, of course, because like I said, it does smell like pumpkin pie. Ginger, nutmeg, cardamom, clove, and cinnamon. So you would wonder why it smells like pumpkin pie, right? It's got all that stuff in it, that, just screams pumpkin pie, that allspice kind of thing, with the ginger, the nutmeg, the cardamom, the cinnamon. But this stuff smells very good. I gotta say, for a gourmand, I like this one. I like the way it smells. Because even though it smells like pumpkin pie, it still has more of that spicy cloviness kind of to it or whatnot. So, yeah. Very, very Octoberish for sure. And yesterday, when my wife got home from what she calls the barn, she's a animal rehabber or budding animal rehabber with our neighbor, and so she was quick to ask me like, well, what are you wearing? Because of course, when I get this stuff in the mail, well, I guess I got myself a little bit here on the Adam's apple. Huh? Um, I'm like a kid in a toy store. You know, I got to try it out. So I had Binks on the aftershave splash, which is it's like a mixture of all these, and she's like, yeah, it smells. She's like, it reminds me of Halloween. It was the first thing that she said. It reminds me of Halloween. You smell good. She loves Halloween. Um, she's big time into all the animatronics and and doing all this stuff. We usually have a Halloween party and dress up. Yeah, fall is a favorite season of mine, so I'm gonna be busy boy with all the shaving I'm gonna be doing because I got a bunch of stuff in, and I can't wait to try them all out, get a video and everything like that for you guys. Because I got the Sanderson stuff that I'm doing now. I just got a big haul in from Sterling with a lot of their fall seasonal stuff. Um, like Detonate, I got Detonate, Boot Sigma, Carmichael, um, bunch of stuff, man, bunch of stuff. Hang on, there we go. Maybe no, I don't know. I'm just gonna go like this. Let's get there. Yeah, all these fall seasonals, and of course I got my pre-order for Solwyn for Barrister and Mann and Hallows. So of course I'm waiting for all that to drop. I mean, I gotta say, October and the fall is so much good stuff. All right, let me get all this rinsed off, and we'll go for round 3 with Sarah. Get all this off. No contamination. Oh yeah, and I forgot. So the matchy matchy for Mary is since it's like pumpkin pie, I figured what better than the orange cleanser. All right. And we're back for round three with my favorite of the trio, Sarah. And once you hear the scent notes, you'll know why. If you guys, watch my channel, you'll know I'm a fan of certain things, and this is definitely a fan. So I got this loaded up into my Captain's Choice bowl here, and I'm using my Hoosier Lathe Works. I just figured, I don't know, I just figured kind of like the cosmic, has kind of like that cosmic, witchy vibe to it, starry night kind of thing. So that's why I went with this for Sarah. Now the scent notes, oh man, yeah, that smells good. The scent notes for Sarah is cedar, sandalwood, smoke dude, amber, vanilla, and peony. Man. That oud and vanilla, the sandalwood, the cedar. Man, it's like 90% of my favorite scent notes. 95% of my favorite scent notes. I am loving this one right here. The oud, the amber, the vanilla. Get a good bit under my nose here so I can smell it while I shave. This is, like I said, this is definitely my favorite of the trio. Yeah, very good, Doug. Very good, Doug. Blended very well as normal. All right, so here we go with our final against the grain pass. This is shaping up to be quite a good shave. Yeah, I will say, I guess if I have one complaint about the Tedalus, is it's thin. Um, it is very thin, and the heft of these scales, um, it's sometimes it feels like it wants to wiggle around. Like I really have to clamp down on the scale, for it to hold it straight or whatnot. So, but I think when I get a good grip right here on the jib and then this cutout, then it feels more stable. But sometimes, so far, that thinness of it really kind of makes it feel clumsy and awkward. But other than that, great shaver. I mean, you really can't beat these. I'm telling you, these Feather Super Professional blades. They are quite nice. Stretch the skin, fellas, especially in these sensitive areas. I'm telling you, it really helps. See, it's like right here. Like if I don't have the right, if I don't have the right grip on it, or if I don't have something kind of helping it along to stabilize it, it feels like it wants to flip in my hand. Putting the putting the scales here on my palm helps a lot. That's really my only complaint for this. Very nice. Hmm. Yeah, folding the scales all the way up. It seemed to help out pretty good. And my skin feels really nice so far already, even with the I know. I think I was talking to Doug, and he said that he was messing around a little bit with the base on this. So it's a Grand Champion base, but with a little extra something, something. But so far, I mean, yeah, it really performs very well. All right, let me rinse off, and we'll get to the best part of the shave. All right, and I'm back, all cleaned up and ready for the best part of the shave. Sorry, I thought I had some shaving cream here on my watch, but it seems to have gotten cleaned up, I guess. All right, um, so we got here Binks, which is part of the Sanderson trio as well. This is the aftershave for the trio. And Binks is just, it says it is a perfect combination of Winfred, Mary, and Sarah. Um, and it is, I gotta say, it is very, very nice. And it ties into kind of that whole thing about like my wife coming home from the barn yesterday and asking what I was wearing. And really, all I had done is I sprayed this once, like on my forearm right here, so that way I could get a smell for it, get my nose on it. And, I mean, and you're talking, this is like an hour or two after the fact where I'd sprayed it. I sprayed it about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and she came home around like 8:30 ish, so and she could smell it like she just walked by me and she's like, what are you wearing? She's like, it smells very like Halloweeny. She's like, it reminds me of Halloween. So yeah, so this is actually, I got the specific set notes for Binks, and it's got dust, mildew, cement floor, aging wood, fermented fruit, the smoked oud, cedar, sandalwood, pumpkin, cardamom, ginger, clove, nutmeg, and apple. So it's a little bit, it's like I said, it's a perfect blend of all three. And guys, I really got to tell you as well. So from where I had sprayed my arm yesterday, like I said, at about 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, when I sprayed my arm, when I woke up this morning at 7:30 in the morning, and I was laying in such a way like I could smell it. Like it was still there. So the strength and the longevity on this one is gonna be a good one because, like I said, I just had the one spray from yesterday, and it smelled very good. The scent strength is good. Mm, yeah, as normal with any adopted acres, the performance of The aftershave splash is awesome. It is very skin foody. Any kind of irritation or anything that I may have induced in my shave, which with the Tedalus, I mean, I didn't have Tedalus, potato, Tedalus. That's what I'm calling it. Um, I didn't have any irritation, even when I had no feedback from the alum. The shave soap, of course, was very nice and slick. So the whatever he did, and added to or elevated his Grand Champion base, the performance is still there. I can't discern a difference. They're both very slick. The residual sweep, there was cushion. It provided a nice cushion for my shave, and and my post shave feel was very nice as well. So, and then of course the aftershave just adds to that. My skin now feels, you know, very good. It's dry, but it's hydrated. If that makes sense. It's not so wet or like sometimes you put those aftershaves on and you just feel like that stickiness. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just like really grippy. But with this, it's not. My skin just feels good. It feels hydrated, smooth, comfortable. Um, as you can tell, all the stuff that I had going on with my neck is good, and there's no redness, there's no irritation or anything like that from this shave. Even from the couple of little like nicks that I may have got. I got one red spot there from where I caught my Adam's apple because I'm not used to this blade yet. But yeah, awesome shave. If you guys are a fall seasonal nut like I am, then the Sanderson trio is going to be way up your alley. You'll definitely like it. Like I said, um, Winifred, I it reminds me, and I said, like I'm saying, this is not a bad thing, but for me, it reminds me of my grandmother. I think the pumpkin flesh, like the pumpkin and the apple, and maybe the damp woods combined. I don't really get a lot of nutmeg or clove in it, but maybe those other scent notes come. It really kind of gives you like a sweet tobacco kind of scent to it, if that makes sense. Maybe that's why, when I popped the top to it, the first thing I thought about was my mama, I mean, and that sweet dental snuff that she would always have, but it smells good. But again, Winifred is if I put it in an order of the three, Winifred is the one on the that I like the least, and then we got Mary, and this one with the pumpkin and the ginger, the nutmeg, the cardamom, the clove, and the cinnamon. I mean, this stuff smells just like pumpkin pie to me. Very pumpkin pie. And then Sarah, this is your classical kind of masculine, musky fall fragrance, with the cedar, the sandalwood, the smoked oud, man. The smoked oud is, and then and then the way the vanilla and the amber mix with that oud, and the peony, is it gives you, it also brightens it up that little bit with that little bit of floral, but it's very nice. And Sarah, of course, for me, that's my winner of the three. Um, and then with the splash, and then you combine them all together, and it's very nice. It's weird. They all complement each other. So I get, if you wanted to do a good mashup, you could take a little bit of each, like take a scoop out of each, and whip you up a lather. Or, I just thought of this. That would give you a great way to, even enhance your shaves even more. I mean, you could take like maybe Mary and Sarah and, and do a mashup, or Sarah and Winifred, or Mary and Winifred. I mean, you got all these different combinations, that you can mash up between the three soaps. or you could take all three and mash them up, and then you got Binks, Binks shaving soap. So without without even knowing it or free of charge, Doug just gave you like four shaving soaps, together. Because if you mash them all up, well, then you got Binks, and then you still have the aftershave splash. So there's all sorts of cool stuff that you can get or do with it. But yeah, the Binks, man, like that kind of allspice smell is really kind of coming through, like the clove. I'm really getting like a lot of the clove and the cinnamon and the nutmeg. The cedar is in there, the cedar and the smoke, dude. I mean, it's all just coming together, and it smells very nice. And and the scent strength is very good. So, um, I always get my wife's thoughts. I did not get her thoughts on each individual soap. I am sorry about that, but I did get her thoughts, obviously from when she came home. I talked to her about it. I did get her thoughts on the aftershave splash. And on the Tennessee Wifey proof scale, where 0 is the worst and 100 is the best, the Wifey gives, well, Binks, she gives it a 60 proof. She likes it. She loves these fall scents, so the mix together, she likes it. Oh yeah, and she did say Sarah reminds her of Halloween candy. She thought that Sarah reminded her of Halloween candy, and she thought the same about Mary, that it smelled like pumpkin pie. And then I will say that I think because of maybe the little bit of the earthiness that's in Winifred, she didn't like Winifred too much. She did say that, but I didn't get a proof rating from her, so I can't give you a proof rating. But I think she's pretty much along the same lines as me when it comes to, like first, second, and third. Winifred is her least favorite. Then she likes Mary, and then she liked Sarah. I think Sarah and Mary were kind of neck and neck for her. She could go either way because she likes the pumpkin pie smell, but then she also likes the Halloween kind of candy smell that you get from Sarah, I guess. I think. Yes, me. And so in my proof scale for the Tennessee whiskey proof scale, I give the trio all on its own. Well, I guess I could just say I give Binks. Binks is a solid 70 proof. And Sarah, for sure, for me, is a 70 proof. Mary is a 60 proof for me. And Winifred, I'm halfway in between with it. So for Winifred, I give it a 50 proof. So they're all good. And you guys may find that you like one, better than the other. And yeah, but that's my take on it. And of course, the performance, the soap base between all three is phenomenal. Each pass I had no problems with the lather. The lather itself is very nice. And the fragrances, like I said, are good, but I like some better than others. Like I said, I'm not a very gourmand guy, but I did like Mary, which is very pumpkin pie-ish, but um, that's the thing to me about pumpkin pie. Like, I enjoy the smell of pumpkin pie, but I don't want to eat it. You know what I mean? Even like when I smell it, and I know like, oh, this is pumpkin pie, I can eat it. I don't necessarily get that kind of I want to eat it smell, of pumpkin pie with all the allspice, the allspice or the cardamom, the nutmeg, all that stuff. I don't really get that with it. So maybe that's why I like it, because I don't get that I want to eat it kind of um, emotion with it or feeling. So, man, the best shaving season is upon us, fellas. It's not too much longer, and October will be here, and it'll be in full swing. So all these artisans are getting out, all their fall scents now, so you can have them at the start of the season. And today, you can pick up the trio from. Let me get this orientated the right way there. There we go. So you can pick up the trio from Adopted Acres. I'll leave a link in the description, and yeah, definitely check it out. I think it's like 50 something dollars, like $55, and you get each one. Sorry, each one of these tubs. I think I mentioned it before, but it's a 2 ounce pour. So you got 6 ounces of shave soap and a nice splash mashup between them all. Definitely check them out. Again, Adopted Acres is a family business, and they've adopted all the Doug and Kara have adopted all their children. So that's very, very cool of them. And each one of their children is a special needs child. So oh yeah, and I don't think I mentioned too. So the whole Sanderson trio thing came about kind of in a special homage or whatnot, or in honor of Kara's sister who has Down syndrome, and she was a huge um, Hocus Pocus fan, or is a huge Hocus Pocus fan, and she would always run around quoting the movie and watching it all the time. So that's kind of how this trio came about. So very, very cool. Um, a nice way to pay respect and stuff like that, and honor Kara's sister. So I know this video is running probably super long, and I really apologize. But like I said, three soaps, a new razor, yeah, Tedalus. Sorry, I mean it's this is a great razor. So far, I mean. I think it's very nice. The machining and everything like that, it feels nice. I do like it. Like I said, I just wish it was more square. I think the fact that it's so rounded, sometimes it just, like if I just squeeze it the right way, it just wants to kind of flip in my hand. So I don't know. I guess that's just for me to figure out how to hold it. Maybe I need to just hold it like that rather than like that. Maybe that's I have to mess around with it, like this is the thing, with new razors, you gotta learn them. So, um, I'm just so used to a certain facet of the razors that I do have, you know what I mean? So I gotta kind of learn this razor and see what works better for it. And maybe this kind of a grip, maybe I just need it so that way I can turn my wrist a little more as opposed to this kind of grip. Maybe that's what I got to do. Yeah, that's probably it. Actually, that feels much better holding it like that rather than like that. I'll hold it like that. Yeah, I'll give it a go. Anyway, I'm gonna learn it. I'll figure it out. A great razor. With the Feather Super Professional. Oh yeah, here it is. It's behind the shade there. With these Feather Super Professional blades, I love these guys. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Tomorrow, or well, today, Saturday. Sorry, I'm sure you guys know that I don't make these videos like the day of or anything like that. So for me, today is Friday, and I drop this tomorrow, which is when the Sanderson trio drops. But tomorrow is family day for my son's college, so we're waking up at the butt crack of dawn and driving to go see my son, since he's shipped off to college. So I'm very excited about that. Not excited about waking up super early, but he is totally 1,000,000% worth it. So up early and up and Adam early to go see him, and yeah, I can't wait. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Yeah, no. Other than that, we just need the one more subscriber to hit that magic 100 number, and and we'll see about doing a giveaway again. If you're not part of the Shave Dad group on Facebook, I highly, highly, highly suggest you go there and and become a member. There's a wealth of knowledge there, a bunch of great guys that are always super helpful, and you're sharing shave of the day videos, and product reviews, advice, all sorts of stuff. It's a great group. It is the best Facebook group I've ever been in. Shave Dad, and Jerry Plessy. I mean, he runs it and he does a phenomenal job with it. There's giveaways on there all the time. So that's probably what I'll end up doing for my giveaway once I reach the 100 subscribers. I'm just going to reach out to Jerry and I'm going to do a giveaway or something on Shave Dad. Or I don't know yet. I mean, it's my first one. So I don't know if I'm just going to do it here on YouTube or if I'm going to do it on Shave Dad. But anyway, again, I know this thing's probably coming up on an hour now. I'll try and edit it down the best that I can. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one on whichever I do. I don't know. I'm probably going to do another review video come Tuesday. And maybe I'll do another freelance Friday next week or something if I get the chance. It all just kind of comes down to time. I'm getting kind of busy lately. So, as always, the wet shaving community is the best community. Be happy, be positive, and I'll catch you on the next one, gents.